actually worse than the last one we did.
Stoned one.
The one in Vegas in the fucking desert.
Oh, yeah.
It's rubbish. We were just so at peace and bored. We just sat there. Remember that? The first time we tried to do a podcast, literally, we were sat there in the middle of the desert. There's absolutely nothing around us but some fungus, some stupid cactuses.
Yeah.
And we were so chilled out. We were just like, so let's talk about drills. They're
just
good, aren't they?
look at the rocks.
And it was shit. We did 45 minutes, and after we looked at each other, we were like, that was boring. There was no energy to it. It was absolutely horrible. And we were both like, we can't put that out. It's bad. I've never done a shitty podcast where we're like, nope, no one's going to see that one.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just offer it as a shitty bonus. Hey, buddy. Here's the
Sasha, pretty relaxed.
Here's the worst podcast ever. But hey, everybody!
Hi, everybody!
That was the funny intro. Where you think what's
you
going?
Didn't even know.
You didn't know.
Sasha was pretending. I didn't. I was pretending I didn't know. But
he secretly knew I turned it on. So what's up, everybody? I have by request. That's right. Someone actually went on my YouTube channel and went, "Why aren't you doing one with James?" And I went, "Well, that's naturally coming at some point. I just, we've been doing other things." So a big round of applause for the world's #1 seductive natural PUA, James Marshall. Chris plays some sound effects there, so
we didn't have to make them.
Yeah, I do it as a joke, but he'll...
Well, I was born in the 70s, so we had to make our own sound effects back in the day.
It's true. I use the term PUA half jokingly. I just think it's really funny to call anyone a PUA at this point.
Yeah.
The world's greatest natural PUA.
As voted by Vince Calvin.
There it is. I didn't know if I should say it or not, and now you said it. It's all right. Whenever we do a crazy, hey guys, I got 97 makeouts. That's one of our inside jokes, because that's how we met, was at Vince Calvin's event, and so even though he's a fanatic and he's slightly out of his mind, we love him anyway because he
sure does get more makeouts than anyone I know.
He has a lot of makeouts, and he's he comes from the heart. So we joke around, but we love Vince. But yeah, whenever you go, hey guys, it's James Marshall, the world's #1 natural, and I do it in a funny voice. That's who we're channeling. Just so if people are confused,
the joke's outside now.
It's out now, but it's still funny. So that's what's important. So I think people know sort of about your background, but give them like the 60-second version, and we can get into the good stuff because I think it's already out there.
All right. Used to be a fanatical kung fu monkey type. Lived over in China for some time. Studied martial arts, meditation for many a year. Got into and was a kind of arty hippie dude. Very, very severe. Got into music. Started becoming a rock and roll musician. Never got famous, by the way. But got into drugs and girls and partying and stuff in my mid-20s. But then was still fanatically kung fu and decided I was moving to China to live there as a monk. But I met some lad who was a prodigy with women. We were both pretty good at some point. He came up with the idea of starting something called The Natural, which was the world's first natural game company, and that started in 2007, and since then I gave up being a monk for a while to become a hedonistic fucking dating coach.
And what a turnaround it's been. Let me just assure everybody, this guy is everything that is the opposite of sitting on a mountain meditating. Drugs, women, sex all over the place, threesomes, you name it. He's doing it. Not heroin.
No,
not heroin.
I've never done that.
But a lot of other crazy stuff.
Just never. No one ever gave me any.
And it's here. Let's do this question first. Were you ever shitty with girls?
Yes.
Tell the truth.
No, I was.
He wasn't.
I was.
He wasn't. He's lying through his teeth. You can tell on his face now. If I take a picture of his face right now, I'm literally going to take a picture of his face now, so you can see the face of a man who's lying currently. There we go. I'm taking it. You can tell how the guilty look on his face. Tell him the truth. Just fine. It doesn't matter. You still help people get laid now. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
I was shitty with girls up until my mid-teen years. Then I went to mid to late.
Until he was 13, he was rubbish.
Mid to late teens.
Everyone was rubbish at that age. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous argument.
Okay. Well, what I would say is that I decided very young that I wanted to get good with women. In fact, I have a letter that I wrote to myself when I was 8, saying that I want to become a man that every woman loves. And so it's always been important to me to become really good with the ladies. And so from a young age, I really focused in on that. So the way I did that originally was just by being friends with them and trying to start a band and being funny and and friendly, and that didn't really work. And then when I moved to America when I was 16, I had a lucky break just being an Australian in America, and so I was accidentally popular and cool. And from there, I started realizing what it actually means to make a guy attractive. So yeah, it's my development was different from a lot of guys who kind of like were really, really shit for a long time and then suddenly like focused intensely for 2 years and figured out. My growth was much more gradual, more organic. It was more to do with building lifestyle stuff. Meditation and martial arts was a massive part of it because I was a gawky, skinny, gangly kid, and then that gave me a lot more presence, confidence, and learning about projecting intent and the kinds of things that I took into my seduction abilities.
Now, was it like that movie Karate Kid where you were bullied and then finally you met a master and you got better, and then finally you had like a showdown with some bullies and then you came onto your own? Or is that just a movie?
No, I definitely did. I got one day I started a little choir at my school, which is a really sporty Australian school, and they didn't fucking like that. And
this is a great story.
Yeah,
you gotta tell this.
Yeah, I started a choir, which is a really gay thing to do at a sporty school, and I asked if we could put on a little performance, and we put on this performance at the assembly, and you could just see the bullies drooling, and after school they followed me home and beat the fuck out of me, fucking poof down, singing opera, poof, and bashed the shit out of me.
Wait, I'm just going to get a picture of you. Wait a second.
Being an Aussie bogan.
Throw a couple of punches. Yeah. Nice one.
Yeah, so it was after that my mother decided I should learn to defend myself, I think, and so I started learning karate.
Yep.
To start with, and then gradually got more into the spiritual side of martial arts and kung fu. I never did actually have a showdown with those bullies, although I have been in a few scuffles, one in Belgrade recently, and it has come in handy. But mainly it gave me a lot of self-confidence and taught me actually about presence and awareness, which are my fundamentals when I'm teaching natural game. I'm really focused on getting guys present in the moment so that they're not fucking in their heads thinking about what they're going to say, freaking out about their anxieties, that they're really there with the girl, because that's what makes girls quiver at the knees.
Well, it's actually pretty interesting because one thing we both do well is get guys to stop fucking being little bitches and go and talk to women. But I do it a completely different way. Obviously, I think everyone knows what I do at this point.
You do it the nasty way.
I do it the fun way. I make them directly confront their fears. I make them get out, just destroy their ego and do absolutely ridiculous stuff so that they stop giving a shit what people think, and then they pick up girls. You, however, you're actually able to and I've done with a couple of students who are really freaking out. I've actually done what, you're a bit, where I stand them in the corner and I get them to do some breathing and focus their attention in different places, calm them the hell down. So it's really coming from a different place. You from the Kung Fu meditation, and me from the face your fucking fear.
Right.
But both are effective.
Oh, I think they're both very important because sometimes like just trying to smash through a fear. People lock up, when they're really having a freak out, or when their ego's really confronted, or some people are motivated in different ways.
Right.
And I think one of my skills is when I'm with a guy in field, and he comes back and I'm like, so you're right? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, no, you're not. And I can see that in this moment some core part of his insecurities come up. And this is something I'm always saying, is that the almost the only time, but definitely the best time to really, really have a fundamental shift and a change is when your old habit pattern is reaching its manifestation. So, like, I'm a big fan of inner game, of meditation, of taking time out to, look at your beliefs and work through things in your downtime. But that's, in my opinion, that's all preparation. The time when you're really going to change your mindsets is when you're in action. So, infield in a game, which is essentially what both of us do, just from different angles, is a really vitally important part. So there's a lot of guys who sit around preparing to go in field for many a year, and then there's also guys who go in blindly with just really not actually giving any time to themselves as well to process it. So I think it's really important.
One of the things that I think is really funny is that so we met at one of Vince's events, actually.
No, it was 21 convention.
Oh, was it 21 convention?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Vince was there.
That's right. We saw Vince do a crazy talk. and then, it was one of a 21 convention event. And basically, I just came up to James and I was like, hey, buddy, it was a really good talk you did. And I didn't really know who this dude was, so I was just like, dude, that was a great talk, fucking awesome, totally loved it. It was fun. I was super excited. I'm like, what's your deal? Where are you from? What's going on? And I didn't know it at the time. but he basically did his magical staring move. He just basically stared at me with intent, and I sort of stared at him, and I cracked, and I started talking more because I didn't know what to do, because he was just being weird and staring at me. And of course, 2.5 years later, I'm like, wait a second. After I had learned the James magic, I was like, you did that staring move on me when we met. And of course, that's his trademark thing, is talking less and forcing women to invest more. It's his trademark ninja move. The staring move, as I like to call it.
Wow, it's the application of pressure on people, because that's something that fundamentally you have to be able to do as a seducer or as any kind of effective social creature, is being able to hold pressure on yourself and to be able to exert it on other people, or to be able to receive it from other people as well. And most people are really shitty at dealing with pressure of any sort. They're always trying to relieve it by giggling, fidgeting, moving away from things, agreeing, nodding, talking too fast, so many different things. And girls find that highly unattractive. So yeah, that's a big part of my game. It's low energy, high intensity game, because it requires me to hold a very, very clear point of awareness and focus, because otherwise it just looks like you're zoning out. And at the same time, it's really directing a very clear intention onto the person. So if I'm asking a girl a question, I'm really probing with my eyes, with my presence, and she has no choice really but to either walk away rudely or do exactly
or fall into the magical spell off the hook nose non-Jew. It's super powerful, and in fact that's one of the things I wanted to chat about. Is after meeting that time, when I met James originally, he was really quite stoic, like a ninja, and just very serious. Didn't smile. Well, he didn't smile at all. In fact, he would make jokes about how he doesn't smile. And I was, of course, running around happy and shit all the time, and talking too much and being hilarious.
Pretty depressed at that time.
Okay, well,
I was going through a really rough time in my life. It was intense. I'd just broken up with my wife, and I was,
it makes a better story if I say how we completely took the role of the other person.
Well,
so basically, we just changed a lot, and I myself just realized I could talk a lot less. A lot of my friends, actually, Marcus was saying for years, Sasha, you don't have to be funny. Relax, people love you anyway. You're just awesome. And I'm like, yeah. And then I would just continue being funny because it's so ingrained in me. But yeah, so slowly, and I just realized, hey, you know what, actually, because I would see James do it so much, where he would be talking to a girl, and, well, actually, no, he'd be staring at a girl, she'd be talking, and next thing you know, that night, he's with that girl, and I'm like, he didn't even say anything. Mm-hmm. So I realized, of course, that I could just be more present and just not fucking talk, or just talk very little. And of course, one of the best, certainly probably the best online a video approach that I've ever done was in Budapest, right after I was hanging out with James after the first Euro tour, and I'd really absorbed a lot of that, and I'm like, okay, I was just really grounded at that period, really calmed out, and that was like the first girl I approached and just had that amazing interaction, and I was like, alright, that was it. So that was really a huge influence by James, because we were hanging out during that period. So I came full circle and just realized, even though in my core I could still be fun, I could just chill the fuck out, and I don't really have to say that much, and I could just, just relax. So I turned more into a fucking way more towards the relaxed side. And James, why don't you tell him what happened to you?
Well, since then we've been on a lot of rambling adventures. It's always a bit surreal. It's like right now we're sitting on a balcony in Melbourne, in Australia, and very recently that was New York, and then Buenos Aires and Kiev, and yeah, we've been on all sorts of adventures. And being around Sasha a lot of days of the year, getting to see the way that he is so playful with life, with people. That every interaction, sometimes to the point where I'm just cringing, because I'm like, oh, don't fuck with that poor little thing that creature behind the counter. She can't handle it. She's just a drone. But seeing how he's always just like in a really nice way, gently puppeteering the world around him in order to kind of shake people and wake them up and have fun. And that's certainly rubbed off on me. Like I know in the last couple of years, and people have certainly commented on that in my videos, that I'm getting funnier and sillier, and yeah, it's just having more joy and kind of flow and silliness in life, which is a really important thing, especially when you're a bit introverted and a bit serious like I am. To be able to do that is important. So yeah, that's definitely rubbed off on me. And also just pushing girls' buttons in ways that I maybe didn't do before. I was maybe a bit too clinical for a while. I certainly found what works for me, but yeah, I've certainly loosened up and just enjoying more of the process as well, because I'm definitely like a sniper when it comes to seduction. I take a shot and I make it work, and I've got a very high percentage hit rate. But also being able to just enjoy the process of it and have fun and play with it is really important. So yeah, and I think that's also made me able to communicate with different types of girls that I used to not be able to. So like I lock in really well with girls who are a bit serious, complicated, intense, intellectual and whatever, but you know, I was never very good with, you know, more ditzy girls or silly girls or party girls, and yeah, so I'm definitely being able to do more of that lately.
So 2 years from now, I'll be doing Kung Fu somewhere in China, and you'll be doing stand-up comedy, touring across Australia. James the Natural.
Yeah, some of my stuff's getting pretty funny on stage. You know, I've said some jokes. Oh, yeah.
All right, so here's a question that I think everyone would like to know the answer to. What is your obsession with the younger ladies? I mean, can't you just date a 30-year-old girl like everyone else? I mean, what is this? If you even talk to a girl that's under 19, you don't even bother. You'll look at them and go, "Yeah, she's already 20, mate. Forget about it." What's the attraction, James? I think we all want to know.
Look, well, no one knows about this except for a close inner circle of friends.
I've made inside jokes.
A
lot of people know.
There's been comments. Well, the way I see it is, to be honest, most men are interested in young, nubile, stretchy, vivacious, sexy women, and just lots of them can't get them, so they end up with chicks that are a bit older and frumpier, and I happen to have the skills and abilities to get exactly the ones I want. I like young girls because they're a good counterbalance to me, because I am pretty serious, because I am an intellectual, because I'm someone who is constantly thinking in big picture stuff, and it's not that I like bringing around stupid people, I certainly don't, but people who are just more in the flow, in the moment, enjoying like being youthful, that's really good for me, and I think it's a good combination, because I provide a grounding framework. I'm someone who can teach a girl a lot about sex and about relationships, about her emotions, because I can hold a really strong space for a girl to be playful, to be erratic, to go through her emotional highs and lows, and I can hold space for it. And for me, it's good because it just keeps me young and fresh.
All right. So that being the case, I've always I'll make an admission to the world here. I've always had teen approach anxiety.
Wait, we're not talking about this.
Well, no. I just want to say that it's fine. I always feel a little bit like, if a girl's like a little bit too young, and legal, but like 18, 19. I just think, it's a bit, she's a bit young, and I probably shouldn't. But secretly, I know they like me, and I've always sort of not, just like other guys. With most girls, I'll just make some kind of excuse, and I'll go hit on some 25-year-old. Because I think I've gotten to the point where I'm ready to start having sex with younger girls. What do you think? But I'm still struggling with it, because part of my mind's like, no, don't do that. But deep down, I know they actually love older guys, and that's awesome. So any advice to me?
Well, there's some kind of limiting belief in there, isn't it? That somehow that's even Sasha Daygame has been infected by society's taboos. The way it is, I think with younger girls, okay, so we got like whatever, and there's 19-year-olds and there's 19-year-olds. There's girls who, when you approach them, they see you as like a weird, hairy old man, which is really what we are, true, to be honest. And then there's other girls who look at you and go, "That's what I want. That's my teacher. That's a guy that can keep up with me." Because girls do develop so much faster than guys. Like when I was fucking 19, there's no way I would have been able to date a girl equivalent of me at 34. I wouldn't have been able to keep up with her. But yeah, a lot of girls really can. You've met my girlfriends before who are young and fucking quite capable of keeping up with us intellectually and often better us emotionally. So I think it's part biology or whatever it is. It's that a lot of young girls really are into older guys, and there's certainly no reason not to do it just because some people think that it's dirty. And if we're gonna worry about that, well, we wouldn't be in this business, would we?
That's true.
A bit late for that now.
So you're saying to all the older guys out there who are interested in dating young girls, what would you say?
Well, I'd say
possible. What should they do?
It's certainly possible, but you also you can't be an old fart. I am 34 years old, but I'm also a guy who keeps fit, who's, dresses well, who, is involved in young people's stuff. So, I go to festivals and I'm not that I keep up with the latest trends of music specifically, but I'm someone that, even though there's a generational gap, I can still go out and do fun stuff with them. I can go to gigs. I can, go for rides in the park. And
so don't be a boring cunt. Basically.
Yeah, don't be a boring old cunt, because that's not attractive to a girl. So yeah, you need to be aware of what archetype you fit, because there's certainly older guy archetypes for sure, heaps of them.
But there's sexy James Bond older guys, and then there's the fat cunt who just eats Doritos on a couch watching TV.
Yeah, or the boring suit guy accountant or whatever. Not that you can't be an accountant and attract young women, but you need to be aware. Are you tapping into archetypes where young girls go, that's the kind of guy I like? Or
what if you're not one of the good older guy archetypes, but you're loaded? Can you just get hot young girls?
Yeah, I think you can buy them as well.
See, guys, see this. See, you can have business success as well, financial success, and then you don't even have to worry about the dating stuff.
Well,
so just get loaded. Take our residential program or get loaded. Pick one. God damn it, pick one. Ironically, the programs are expensive, so you're gonna have to get loaded. Either way, you still have to get loaded.
And then that's going to help us eventually get loaded, so we can stop
and then just
bothering with this pesky game stuff and all the self-development.
It's a vicious circle.
Eventually, we can just pay for it.
I reckon at some point when we're like 60 or something, we'll just be like, fuck it.
Yeah.
James just said that with just a relief look on his face, oh, this is too much work. It'll be nice to just
finally not have to use all my personality.
Do that. Oh, yeah. There it is. There's that moment. All right. So a couple more good questions.
So what time is it? We got to go to the gym.
It's all right. We got time.
Yeah. That's just a little mention there that we're going to the gym.
We are going to the gym, ladies.
Me and Sasha,
what time does it start? 6:30.
6:30.
It's only 5:40 though.
Oh yeah.
What's it like being a sex addict?
It's so totally fine.
No, hang on. Before you answer that question, let me just say this. People think that's a funny question. If James, I've been on tour with James for a long time. We've done Euro tours, my residential programs, all over the fucking planet, all over the fucking place. He needs to, if he doesn't get some for 48 hours, he starts to get grumpy. Even if he's got like a girlfriend, like, a female that he's going to see in one city, if that city is more than 48 hours away from where we're going now, he's going to make something happen in the next city. Literally every night something's got to be going on, or he gets angry, he gets frustrated. He threw an orange at me once because he hadn't got laid in 3 days, just because I left a knife dirty on the table. It's completely ridiculous. So he has a genuine sex addiction, and for the people out there who have the sex addiction, first of all, what's it like living that way?
Well, I think it's totally fine and functional as long as you have the ability to get laid all the time. It's like having a junk habit and you grow your own or something like that. It's totally fine. The problem comes when you can't get a fix and you get real angry. Although, listen, I was recently in the jungle in Peru. I spent 5 weeks celibate. 5 weeks. Yeah.
That's nothing, mate. I go 5 weeks all the time.
That is the longest. That is the longest amount of time I've had without sex since I lost my virginity, and so I can do it for sure. I just don't like to. Yeah.
I think it's really funny because James has like the highest sex drive ever. I used to have the same one. Recently, it's dropped off because I've only really started to make jokes about it, but I've got low testosterone, so it's lowered my sex drive. So because I do tantric sex, if I do tantric and I don't ejaculate, I'm fine. But if I blow a load, I literally don't care about sex for 2-3 weeks. I'm just like, James was like, "When's the last time you got laid?" I'm like, "I just got laid 2 weeks ago. I'm fine." And he's just like, "What? What are you?" He's like freaking out, like, "Are you crazy? It's been 3 days and I need to get laid right now." So it's this really funny dynamic of him like hopping around and me just being like, "Who cares? Just relax. Life is good. Enjoy yourself." Yeah. Like right now, like even a month ago, I'm like, "Yeah, I could get laid, but I'm gonna see my main chick in 6 weeks. What's the hurry?" What's the difference?
What?
And he's like, "What?" It's really funny.
Sweet. Although, I mean, it sometimes looks quite relaxing being a Sasha in that situation, because he can just do I've seen him sitting around doing other stuff.
I've got loads of stuff going on. I do. I go out and I'm dancing and I get a lot of work done. I'm almost done my book. I've got products coming out. There's a lot of stuff that you can accomplish when you're not obsessed with gold all the time.
I would have had heaps of products out if it wasn't for...
Oh, mate, you would have retired years ago as a millionaire. But yeah, so really having a high sex drive, it's great if you're getting laid, but it's a real curse if you're not. And it's quite relieving actually after having gone through lots of sex. It's quite relieving, just enjoying life in other ways.
Well, and I don't jerk off. I mean, people have seen my anti-porn rants recently.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if you're a guy who's got you should have. Most people have a pretty relatively good sex drive, and if you don't, then work on your diet and have a look at what's going on with that, as Sasha's been doing. And then don't jerk off every fucking day.
I don't jerk off either, by the way. Yeah, just with that other.
Yeah. I know he doesn't. Not because of any moral reasons or because I'm a closet Catholic. It's because it's depleting your jing, your energy, your essence, and you should be projecting that out into the world and turning it into sex and empires.
I swear to God, I don't jerk it. I can't. I don't even want to anymore. The idea of it disgusts me. What? I one time tried to jerk off and I failed, and I was like, I don't even want to have sex with myself.
Oh, it's self-rejected.
It's really sad. But yeah, speaking of epic rants. Yeah, so the moral of that story is if you have a high sex drive and you can't get laid, sort yourself out, get some training, or go and start a multi-million-dollar business and put all your energy into success in other ways. Become awesome, learn kung fu, do something else, become a spiritual master, and then
get the gold diggers.
Then get the gold diggers by using your cash. Totally fine. Don't do that. Get some help. You'll be fine.
We're cheaper than that.
We're cheap. We are much cheaper.
We're not cheap.
What's a few fucking $1,000 or 10? It's not that much. All right. So, speaking of anti-porn rants, you did a really epic one. Here comes a shameless plug at the Direct Dating Summit Berlin.
Oh yes,
that was I couldn't believe how you could talk about not watching pornography, not jerking off, and how important it is and relates to all areas of life. For like an hour, well over an hour. I think you did. Yeah, it was a long one. It was awesome. It was great. It was a great speech, and I commend you for just being able to pick a topic and just fucking go off on one for like an hour and a half. How do you even do that?
Yeah, I'm a good ranter. I don't like talking, but once you get me going, I'll rant.
Yeah,
I'll rant convincingly.
So we've given away the rant, but it was good. It had a lot of great stuff in it.
Yeah, it's important because it's a top area that men don't really talk about is that their actual personal sexuality. They talk about like getting laid and stuff, but they're not. There's a lot of taboos about talking about masturbation, pornography, premature ejaculation, all of that stuff, which everyone has experienced at some point in their lives.
Not me though. I've never had that one.
I didn't.
No.
I didn't chase right now.
Nope.
What?
Nothing.
Yeah. So yes, I was pleased with that, and the guys in the audience I could see their brains going, shit, I have to rethink everything.
Yep. But it was beautiful. We should plug it because it's coming out. It's coming out. This is we have to talk about it. The fucking Direct Dating Summit Berlin.
That was a really good summit. I've done 3 or 4 of these.
Yeah, we've done a bunch. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great one. There was some real quality shit going on there.
We had a couple of the originals in it. Me, you. No, you weren't originally in the first one. No. It was me and Bad Boy and Alan from the original one, and then we got in James, Johnny Saporno, Steve Poplina, famous blogger, and
my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Makes a cameo.
Who's well, she doesn't anymore.
Well, we blurred her face out.
It's just a fucking blurred woman who may or may not be attractive.
She's fucking hot.
Yeah. We're not going to know that, are we?
Understandably, she doesn't want to be involved in this seedy business.
Yeah, well, there you go. It'll just be her shoulders. Everyone will just know. But she was tall, wasn't she? That'll be the only. Yeah, she had hair. Yes, she did. She had tall, and I think her eyebrows might have been nice. That will be the. So does that James Marshall get hot girls? They've got bushy eyebrows. That's for sure, and they're tall.
She's got great eyebrows.
But yeah, it was great. The funniest moment of all dating history happens in that thing in the product, and it involves James. I'm not going to say anything more, only that it was the funniest moment and the most. Speaking of pressure, it was a huge amount of pressure and release, and more pressure and more release. It was really, really funny, and it's worth getting it just for that. But yeah, it was really a
fun
experience.
A moment that if I'd been in any other industry, it would have destroyed my reputation and my livelihood. But in this industry, it made me look really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we need to know. But yeah, what's been your? Because we've gone all over the world now and done these crazy. What's your general experience with these type of events, and how do you feel the Direct Dating Summit is the best one ever of all things?
Pretty loaded question there. Yeah, look, I've done the circuit of PUA conferences and stuff, and back in the day that was really important for me to get my name out there and stuff, and now it's not because I'm famous, and so I don't have to do them, and I choose not to do most of them these days, except for comedy value sometimes. But DDS is one that I love doing for a lot of reasons, because all my friends are there. So because in this industry there's a lot of fucking weirdos, and I love weirdos, not good weirdos. I mean like sociopathic people you don't want to be around. And, you know, a lot of charlatans, a lot of bullshit artists, a lot of ego, a lot of people trying to aim-argue and all that kind of shit. And I'm not interested in that kind of stuff anymore, or ever was. So, yeah, what I like about Direct Dating Summit is that all the guys that come in there are awesome, interesting, fucking genuine guys. I learn a lot when I hang out, because we spend a lot of time hanging out eating healthy food. And...
Except for Alan, he's just got his bucket of chicken wings. But other than that, we eat healthy food.
Wings. And
you just go, mode wings!
Mode wings!
Nice.
And, yeah, me and Alan are getting on better these days, which is good. We've been starting to see more eye to eye. And yeah, and the fact is, it's just the overall philosophy and ethos of the conference is correct. It's that, you know, it's that we need to be authentic. We need to be fucking have ownership of our sexuality, of our manhood, and project that. And this is pretty much the only think tank in the world that I am aware of where that is the focus of having a male's masculinity projected in an authentic and a healthy and a mature way. And a mature way also includes, as well as being, you know, someone who looks after your finances, your health, the people around you, who sees the bigger picture, who's not just, you know, raping the world and taking advantage of things, but at the same time is a man who owns his cock and balls and puts it out there and is real with the women that he's with, because it makes everyone win. So yeah, it's a fantastic conference, and yeah, I will continue to do it despite not needing to, because I like it.
I couldn't have said it better myself. You think he just said that because he's my friend and I'm giving him $500 for doing this, but that's not true.
Let's talk quickly about fucking taking weird things in the jungles.
All right. Oh fuck yeah! I mean, we could do that as
we could do another whole.
We could do another whole thing on that. So let's do this.
The gym scene.
We've got the one. Let's talk about. I think that's too big a topic.
Yeah.
We'll do that another time. However, let's talk about the one point of contention that we actually disagree on, because we agree on so many things. We're all pretty much. He's like all natural, and I'm all having fun and not caring what people think, and we're both pretty much clear that we want to have sex with girls. However,
there is one thing.
Yeah, there's one. We haven't done any German jokes this podcast. That's a bit weird.
I just spent the whole last week with Germans, and the trouble was they weren't at all stiff or Nazi-like in any way, and so I was like, every now and then, there will be an organisation. They're like, dudes, we're pretty chill about actually. I don't know why they were making such a big deal about things.
That's really funny.
Well, there will be order. And that's not really how we
Cool
are.
Germans are ruining everything. Why can't we get anal cunts
they were super
that
cool
just remind us of Nazis so we can have fun?
They were listening to reggae in the morning. And
oh my god, those aren't real Germans. They must have been like half fucking, I don't know.
They were Germans.
Black or Dutch or some, I don't know. Who's really relaxed and fun?
People on
really
opium.
Fun? They must have been half South American.
Yeah.
Half Colombian, half German.
They were really German. They look like Hitler's children, but they were
I don't
cool.
believe it.
Anyway.
So here's our one disagreement, and this is one thing that I really 100% believe in, and we get into a little argument. So my thing is, well, okay, you go. All right, here's what it is.
Yeah.
I think you always have to get in front of a girl to stop her. Always. Because that's what, I think that's a lot about being direct and authentic. You see a hot girl, get your ass in front of her, say, hey, get her attention, stop her dead in her tracks, and then tell her, you know, whatever it is you're genuinely feeling, you know, whatever it is. And no conversation can begin unless you fucking have the balls to get in front of somebody and stop them. You can't. James thinks you can fucking walk along. He loves it. He loves when a girl's walking somewhere. He's quite eager to get up next to her and walk down next to her. I don't think it works. I think it's a bad idea. And for me, I'm only going to do that as an absolute last resort. James loves it. Go ahead. What do you think?
Oh, I love having a little stroll with a girl. Yeah, well, for me, I know it does work because my current girlfriend, that's how I met, and many other chicks that I have run up to. So yes, I mean, we agree that, you know, you need to go up to girls. That's a good start. You've got to run up to them and get their attention. What I find personally is that there's a lot of situations where, say, you know, there's a bottleneck where we're in a tight situation, or where the girls are walking quite slowly and she's not necessarily going to be that hard to stop. And yeah, I find like sidling up to somebody and having a chat with them is quite a natural thing. Often they don't feel under a lot of pressure. It's not too confronting, and I find also when I'm walking along with somebody, I mean I'm in a good flow, and the person can just, you know, be more comfortable. So yeah, I certainly think I've certainly seen that you can walk up to a girl and have a little stroll with her and still end up in the bed.
Well, here's my argument. Because I see students doing this, and they're much too eager because they have this belief that they don't want to interrupt a girl, they don't want to upset her, they don't want to offend her, because they put these hot girls on a pedestal. Yes. So they'll be like, hey, and then just because the girl's a little bit on the way, like, oh, you're going somewhere? Okay, I'll walk with you. And they're very, 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 very eager to fall into her frame and walk with her. They're not even trying to be like, listen, stop, I have to meet you. So my argument is, yes, if a girl is genuinely super late and you really want to talk to her and she's not going to stop, say, okay, well, I'll walk with you. But don't just make it your fucking, just get in there and start walking with her. You need to show her that you have the balls to actually, that you attracted her, that you need to talk to her, that you can actually get in front of her, stop her dead in her tracks and have a conversation, because it's so much easier, especially for someone who's new, to have a connection when they're right in front of somebody, looking them right eye to eye. You cannot have a connection, sexual or otherwise, if you're not looking someone in the eye, and you can't walk along with someone and look them in the eyeballs. It doesn't work, you'll run into things.
Well, yes. Well, what I would say is, I think certainly especially for beginners, it is good to, because you're learning about physical frame control and about holding your ground, about actually getting physical compliance out of people. I think that's a very useful skill. And so certainly, yeah, it's kind of the same way. Like, I think it's a good thing to verbalize your intent. So to tell a girl exactly what you think as a beginner through to an intermediate, I think that's a really important thing, because most guys never say it. And so just going up and saying, yeah, I think you're fucking hot or whatever, getting it out there. But I think as you get more advanced and more subtle, often you don't need to say it. It's implied. It's very clear. If I go up to a girl and I say, stop, I can't let you walk by. Because I think you're really sexy and I want to have sex with you is all said below the surface. Yeah. So in the same way, I think, if you want to become very, very well-rounded as a seducer, you need to understand that there's lots of variations on what's possible. So you need to know that, you can stop a girl dead on, you can run after her and you can get in front of her, you can sidle up next to her and have a little bit of a stroll, and as long as your intent is correct, it's going to work. The other thing is that it's important to understand calibration. So if a girl is in a hurry and you run up to her and you're like trying to get in front of her, if her mind is like so clearly like, I'm going to the office because I really need to go there, or I need to go to the bathroom, or I need to whatever, it's very hard to hold her focus and have a good conversation. And so if I get in front of a girl, or I go up and I do try to stop her, and I can see that her mind is just like, dude, okay, look, you're some guy and I need to go that way, and I call it out first and I go, you're in a hurry, right? And she's like, yep, all right, I'll walk with you. And I turn and I start walking. She has no choice but to walk with me now. And it also demonstrates that I'm more acutely aware of. I'm not just like some guy who's like blundering in there and going, oh, I'm talking. She's like, dude, I'm in a hurry, go, but I'm talking. So I think you need to be, as a well-rounded seducer, you need to be able to do it all.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. And calibration is just a huge, huge part of it. And I just think it's a trap for yeah. What's up? I turned my iPhone on, so if you're looking at this now, if I wasn't lazy, I've put this little bit of camera on, but I might just be lazy and just put the audio, to be honest.
Put a bit of it.
Put a bit of it.
It's good. Look at these fancy
it's nice, isn't it?
We've got.
Yeah, it's got my iPhone 5. Look.
Great for the home.
Woo! Look at that. Oh, by the way, just for comedy today, I did my 80s porn mustache. Look at that. Yeah.
I'll probably even do it in
I'm an 80s wrestler. Macho Man Randy Savage. I will take those indirect PUAs and put them down. Yeah, that's. You can. That would be great to act. We should do a PUA wrestling. Yeah. We should do characters and we could actually wrestle each other. It would be quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit gay though.
It's a bit gay, but it's fun. All right. So, but yeah, it's just fun to bring it up. So yeah. So what's your? Let's just say give one little final goodbye piece of something out there for the guys. What do you think for you? I mean, it's interesting. We get different questions. What's the one you get the most? What's your favorite? Because with me, I know what my one is. Yeah. My one is, how do I get indifferent? Because you don't care and you're always having fun. You don't give a shit what people think. That's always my number one question, and I've been putting a lot about it with that. What's your number one question?
They often ask me how I get my hair to be so nice. But,
is that true?
Yeah. Yeah, they're all obsessed with my hair.
But, Naughty boy shampoo. Yeah, that's the one he loves. I don't like that one. I like Dr. What is it? Dr. Braun?
Keels?
No. Yeah, no, it's Dr. No, I can't remember now. Dr. Bronner. Yeah, that's right. Bronner's soap. It's amazing. It's all natural and shit, and it's beautiful. No chemicals.
So yeah, but aside from my hair, they asked me how am I so calm when I'm in sets. Basically,
he was a ninja for 5 years. That's obvious.
It's meditation, desensitization by going and doing a lot, but it really is about developing personal internal awareness. Go and learn to fucking meditate. It is good. It's not easy. It takes a lot of time, but it's one of the best things you can do.
It's not easy at all
in the life.
It is awesome. quick thing that I learned from actually Boris. Boris has been he got these tapes, these meditation tapes, and he listens to them, and it's a guided meditation. He loves it. He's always all peaceful and shit. It's unbelievable. So yeah, go take a course. Don't go and do Vipassana for 10 days if you've never meditated. Yes. Don't just jump into it. It's very. Well, I did it, and it was horrific. It was terrible.
It's good.
James thinks it's good.
Yeah, I've done 5 Vipassanas, and it was the first thing I did when I just jumped straight in. So, I recommend it. If you want to get into meditation, Vipassana, we don't get any money out of that, so it's a real recommendation.
I think we should get money from it because it's brutal.
Yeah, but
all right.
It's donation only.
And also,
Can't really get money out of charity.
I think yoga is a lot easier if you do like a yoga that's hard, because like especially the Bikram, it's really hot and you're sweating, and at the end of it you just close your eyes and you're like, and then you zone out. So anything that gets you in alpha state where you're just connected to source and you're just chilling is very good. So that's it. All right. Well,
we'll have another chat about the jungles and things.
Well, we'll call this this James Marshall podcast. I think it was pretty good. Now, do you want to? I'm just thinking. Yeah, that's it really. I think you should tell people where to go if they want to find out more about you.
Alright, so if you want to find out more about me, you can check out
Jim's naturallifestyles.com. Sorry, go ahead.
thenaturallifestyles.com. You can check out theeurotour.com for my crazy 10-day traveling boot camp through Eastern Europe, and my YouTube is The Natural TV, and my tax file, I don't pay tax. Oh, oops, and that's it.
No jokes. I'll put a link below, because I'm doing a Euro Tour too. We do them together sometimes, and you get special treatment if you book through my link below. So click on it if you want to come with us, because we do these things once or twice a year, and they're crazy fun. In fact, we teach various programs together, so those are around. So if you go to my website, you'll see also listings of what we're doing together, and say, oh, it's fun. They're super programs. We take normal guys and we make them into seduction machines. Even Germans.
Even cool Germans.
Even cool Germans. All right, that's it. We love you all, and we'll see you next time. Peace.